Did you know that Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, once described his birth as a random event in the kaleidoscope of life? Born in the year of 1743 in the rural settlement of Shadwell, Virginia, Thomas Jefferson was the third child in a family of 10. His father, Peter Jefferson, was a successful planter and surveyor, a man known for his practical wisdom and strength. His mother, Jane Randolph, hailed from one of the most distinguished families in Virginia, bringing an air of refinement and cultured upbringing to the Jefferson household. Thomas's early years were steeped in the simplicity of colonial life, a world of plantations and wide-open spaces. He took to this world with a curious mind and a thirst for knowledge, qualities that would shape his future and the destiny of a nation. At the tender age of 16, Jefferson bid farewell to his childhood home and embarked on his journey of formal education at the College of William and Anne Mary, located in the historic city of Williamsburg. It was here, within the hallowed halls of this esteemed institution, that Jefferson's intellectual pursuits took flight. He developed a deep interest in law and philosophy, disciplines that would later form the bedrock of his political ideologies. His mentors were some of the most enlightened minds of the time. Under their guidance, Jefferson honed his debating skills, absorbed the principles of law, and delved into the philosophical debates that were shaping the intellectual landscape of the day. It was a period of intense learning and growth, a time that would lay the foundation for his future role as a statesman and leader. So, the man who would later pen the Declaration of Independence began his life in the modest surroundings of Shadwell, Virginia. His early years, colored by the simplicity of rural life and the intellectual vibrancy of his college days, would play a crucial role in shaping one of the most influential figures in American history. Have you ever wondered why the Library of Congress is so extensive? Let's take a journey back to Thomas Jefferson's era. Jefferson, the man of many talents, had an insatiable love for books. His personal collection alone boasted a staggering 6,487 books. When the British burned the Capitol in 1814, the Congressional Library was also consumed by the flames. Left in the ashes was the devastation of a collection that once held numerous volumes of knowledge. It was then that Jefferson stepped into the breach. He sold his impressive personal library to the Library of Congress, not for personal gain, but to replenish the lost collection. This act of Jefferson's not only demonstrates his love for books, but also his commitment to knowledge and learning. He believed in the power of literature and its role in shaping a nation. Imagine the largest library in the world owes its existence to the bibliophilic nature of Thomas Jefferson. What if I told you the author of the Declaration of Independence didn't actually want to write it? Imagine that! Thomas Jefferson, a man of many talents and passions, was initially reluctant to pen this pivotal piece of history. He felt it was a task better suited for John Adams, a fellow member of the Committee of Five and a man he held in high regard. Adams, however, saw things differently. He insisted that Jefferson was the man for the job, citing his peculiar felicity of expression, and so, with a sense of duty, Jefferson set about crafting a document that would resonate throughout history. Yet, the task was not without its challenges. The original draft of the Declaration underwent significant changes at the hands of the committee. Benjamin Franklin and John Adams in particular made several alterations. While they believed these edits strengthened the document, Jefferson was less than thrilled. He begrudgingly accepted the changes, believing that the essence of his message remained intact. The most significant cut from Jefferson's draft was a lengthy condemnation of the slave trade. This was a point of contention among the delegates. While Jefferson, a slave owner himself, recognized the moral quandary of slavery, he was ultimately overruled. The controversial passage was removed to ensure unanimous support from the 13 colonies. Despite his initial reluctance and the subsequent alterations to his work, Jefferson's eloquent prose shone through. His words on equality and unalienable rights captured the spirit of a burgeoning nation yearning for freedom. The final product was a beautiful amalgamation of collective wisdom and individual brilliance. But Jefferson's feelings about the final version of the Declaration were complex. He was proud of the principles it upheld, yet disappointed by the compromises made. He referred to the editing process as mutilations, a term that reveals his dissatisfaction with the changes. Ironically, the reluctant author's words would become one of the most important documents in human history, a testament to the power of written word and a beacon of hope for those yearning for freedom. Did you know that Thomas Jefferson was America's first wine connoisseur? Yes, the man who penned the Declaration of Independence had a profound love for the fermented grape. His passion for this exquisite beverage was so great that he attempted to cultivate European wine grapes on his beloved Monticello estate. Despite his best efforts, Jefferson's vineyard did not flourish as he had hoped, but this setback did not dampen his spirit nor his love for wine. Jefferson's influence was not confined to his political pursuits alone. He also played a significant role in shaping the American wine industry. His tireless advocacy for domestic wine production and his meticulous notes on viticulture have left an indelible mark. His vision for an American wine industry was far ahead of its time, but it was a vision that has since been realized. So next time you enjoy a glass of American wine, remember you have Thomas Jefferson to thank for it. What if I told you that the Louisiana Purchase was actually a gamble by Jefferson? Yes, indeed, it was a roll of the dice that could have had severe consequences. But let's step back a bit, shall we? The year was 1803. Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, was presented with an opportunity. France, under the rule of Napoleon Bonaparte, offered to sell the vast territory of Louisiana to the United States. The price tag, a mere $15 million. Now, this was no small parcel of land. We're talking about an expanse stretching from the Mississippi River to the Rocky Mountains and from the Gulf of Mexico to the Canadian border. It was over 800,000 square miles of wilderness, farmland, rivers and mountains, an area that would eventually encompass 15 modern US states and 2 Canadian provinces. But here's where the gamble comes in. Jefferson, a strict constitutionalist, had doubts. The Constitution, you see, did not explicitly grant the president the power to acquire new territory. Jefferson was torn between the opportunity to double the size of the nation and his commitment to constitutional interpretation. He deliberated, consulted, and in the end, he decided to proceed with the purchase. Jefferson justified this decision by arguing that the president's power to negotiate treaties encompassed the acquisition of territories. This decision wasn't without controversy. Critics argued that Jefferson overstepped his constitutional boundaries, but the potential benefits outweighed the risks. The purchase secured control over the Mississippi River and New Orleans, vital for trade and western expansion. It also removed the French and potentially the British from the western borders of the United States. And so, with a stroke of a pen, Jefferson doubled the size of the United States. It was a gamble that paid off. The Louisiana Purchase is now seen as one of the most significant achievements of Jefferson's presidency. With one stroke of a pen, Jefferson managed to change the destiny of the United States forever. Did you know that Thomas Jefferson and John Adams, once rivals, died on the same day? Yes, the story of these two founding fathers is nothing short of a historical drama, filled with conflict, camaraderie, and a shared destiny. Thomas Jefferson and John Adams were different in many ways. Jefferson, the eloquent Virginian, was a man known for his quiet demeanor and philosophical insights. Adams, on the other hand, was a Massachusetts lawyer, renowned for his fiery temperament and impassioned speeches. Their differences led to a fierce rivalry in the early years of America's existence, especially during their presidencies. However, as they retreated from public life, an unexpected friendship blossomed between them. A friendship that was nurtured through letters, exchanging thoughts on everything from politics to personal life. This correspondence, spanning over a decade, revealed a mutual respect and admiration that had been hidden beneath their political rivalry. It was a testament to their shared commitment to the nation they had helped shape. Then, on July 4, 1826, exactly 50 years after the signing of the Declaration of Independence, the world witnessed an extraordinary event. Thomas Jefferson and John Adams, two of America's founding fathers, breathed their last on the same day. As the nation celebrated its half-century mark, these two stalwarts of American history passed away, leaving behind a legacy that continues to echo through the ages. Adams' last words were reportedly, "Thomas Jefferson still survives," unaware that Jefferson had passed away a few hours earlier, a poignant reminder of their intertwined destinies and the bond they had formed in their twilight years. This remarkable coincidence, their deaths on the 50th anniversary of the nation's birth, seem to underscore their profound impact on American history. A poetic end to the lives of two men who had dedicated themselves to the cause of liberty and the pursuit of happiness. In a poetic twist of fate, these two founding fathers left the world as they had lived in it, together and on their own terms,